let's talk about how it's changed, because this is now a tourist area that is on the way up.
Yes.
And there are far fewer people here today than there were back in the late 60s, early 70s. Only about 400 right now.
Yes.
A lot of people eking out a living in this rough environment, but tourism, 80 of the 400 people who live in this community work with the tourism country that is operating this.
Yes.
So they're lucky.
Yes.
But let's talk about what we see as we come in, because it's not just one cave. This is quite a long facility.
Well, tourism is the main source of income for Liangjiahe villagers now. I was told by the same,
Former party secretary.
Exactly. He said people here made, like, the average annual income was more than 20,000 RMB.
Which is about 3,500 US dollars.
Right. And that's not a small amount of money for peasants.
Right.
And tourism is not the only industry. They are now developing, like, orchards. They're growing apples and jujubes, dates.
We had some of those jujubes.
Chinese fruit, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
And I drove to the top of one of these mountains today, and we got to the top just to take some pictures below. And when we got to the top, we were stunned to see a huge orchard and a man who was not very old, but he looked very aged. He'd had a very rough life taking care of that orchard, basically himself. And he was in the process of removing all the excess twigs on the ground to take home to burn for heat and for a stove. And he talked about how difficult it was. But it is one thing.
Has life changed for him?
Not yet. It's slowly getting better. Which is fascinating, the way he took care of that whole orchard. He would tie bags that had small little weights onto the limbs, so instead of the limbs growing up, they would grow out and get more sun, and the fruit would be low-hanging fruit, as saying. It's very easy to pick. And then the people we met yesterday, planting trees